Hello, I hope all is well and you are getting enough oxygen. My name is Alex and I am an architect enthusiast and student. For the last 3 years I have been studying architecture on my own with a little bit of school. This will be a series on the things I have learned about the field, tips and tricks to start learning on your own and any questions you may be wondering about in architecture. I am new to YouTube and will be trying out a new style, so stay with me. I know nothing about editing. During these videos I will play footage of me working on a library design in SketchUp in the background. So without further delay, let's talk about some architecture. Here are my 5 or more reasons you should not go into architecture, or at least things to be very aware of before committing your life to this field. Number 1. Money and work-life balance. If you are getting into architecture to make tons of money or have a cool tech job, then stop now. In architecture you may work 50 to 60-hour weeks underpaid or off the clock or off the table for up to 8 years before acquiring the eligible hours of working under an architect to become licensed as an architect. In fact, you can't even legally call yourself an architect until you have been licensed. You can go to school and work as long as a doctor or lawyer and will only make 1/5 of the wage. You have to really like architecture and be a little delusional or on the spectrum to get into architecture, is my saying. The first thing you should know and never forget is the architecture profession is a long game with no guarantees, so you really need to have that thick skin and grit to starve for your passion. Especially if you're going for a design architect position, people on the administrative and project management side will most likely be making more money with you with half the time and premature grey hairs. Number 2. Wanting to become a star or famous architect with a flashy lifestyle and famous buildings. Not everyone can be the next Frank Wright or Frank Gehry. It just doesn't happen like that for many reasons. Many famous architects have in fact died broke, divorced with hundreds of projects and designs that never made it past the first phase or just were plain forgotten about. Only 20 to 30% of new homes in the United States are custom made. Which is why connections in architecture or being known for a unique specific style is more important than having 100 slop buildings made that all look like they could have been built anywhere in the world or designed by AI. Yes, I am calling out the international style and even brutalism to a degree, but that is for a different video. Styles change, good design is forever. Number 3. Reality versus creativity. The first thing to know before going to architecture school is that architecture school doesn't teach you how to do the job of an architect, it just helps you think like one. That is a very stripped down way of explaining it, but for the vast majority, school or university will be completely different than the actual business of architecture. In school you are given an almost limitless amount of freedom on what you design and the concept. In the real world you have building and city ordinances or codes, material supply constraints, contractor skill or developer problems, site restrictions, soil problems. Some clients can be difficult to work with and may not know much about architecture outside of HGTV or unrealistic or even architectural criminal demands like wanting to mix medieval or goth styles with mid-century prairie style with added Second Empire Mansour roof and a torrent that doubles as a waterslide just for good measure. These are commonly known as McMansions in America. It is your job as an experienced architect to educate your client well, guiding their vision without slapping your name on the monstrosity of Elm Street. Obviously there will be money and loan problems as well. Some lenders won't lend money for a project if it is too radical because it might be a hard sale if the loan defaults. Now mind you, I am still just an amateur and never worked on a real project, but I have done my research and lurked around American Institute of Architect events, which is a good place to get to know local architects and go on tours of new buildings. My first instructor was also pretty honest about how the industry really is. Lurking architecture is also a good source of information. Now where creativity and talent does come into play during professional practice is in the restrictions and constraints of a project. I actually find I design better when I have a good handle on all of the site restrictions and the well-defined program researched. It is sort of like the blank white paper complex. Stare at it too long and you will get a creative block, or start out with a design that you later find out weeks later simply does not work. Number 4. Speaking of school, architecture school is known as one of the hardest degrees because of the unique ways it is taught and the whole processes of it. You may not have many if any exams, but the sheer amount of hours you can put into your semesters can be eye-watering. Especially in studio, which is where you will be spending 80% of your time working on a concept, projects, models, research, and just hours and hours of grinding for the deadlines. Other majors may only have to go to class a few times a week, write a paper or study a bit. Architecture, on the other hand, takes over your whole life, literally. Students often get loneliness from not being able to socialize in the whole collage experience, others do, and mental health can be an issue. Then you have your panel assessments or critiques. These are usually done by your instructors or visiting architects or firms. Your instructors might not even be architects themselves and are part of academia, which can also be frustrating. Most critiques go okay, but some can be a devastating experience. It's not like you're getting a bad grade on a paper, you're getting a bad grade on your whole personality, lol. Also, just going to throw this out there, but I am sure more professional or good-looking students get a little bit of a leg up. People tend to not usually listen to less attractive people as well, from my experience. My first year, our attractive AIAS class president didn't even have her end-of-year project to present, but still passed somehow. I still find this suspicious and funny, but let's not get off topic. Number 5. Artificial intelligence. This is obviously a hot-button topic in multiple fields at the moment. Trust me, I do find it funny. I am using AI to narrate my typing at the moment for this video, but my microphone sounds like I am recording from the inside of a washing machine filled with rocks right now. Also, it is helping me fulfill my boyhood dream of being British. I was a strange child. I went and saw the Titanic like 30 times in theaters and grew up on British comedy. Yes, I am old, but our architects are late bloomers. I don't know how an 18-year-old would even know what an architect is right out of high school. Back on topic though, artificial intelligence and architecture. I actually have a prediction. AI will not be a huge threat to the profession, as it is already oversaturated and you people actually like things made by other people. I also think there will be a rebellion against using it for creative things like art and so forth, and clients in the next 50 years are going to like more detailed and unique buildings. I think handcraftsmanship will be coming back into style and as a profession, which is why I am making this solar punk library design. It is actually more cheaper and renewable to build with stone nowadays than concrete. We just don't have enough masons. Where I think AI may fit in with architecture is with presentations, assistance, and maybe drafting, even though I still think that will be a human activity, as there is a high degree that if something on the blueprints is wrong or missing because of AI, it could lead to lawsuits, delays, and a bad reputation. AI could help with a small-time architect start their own firm, which might lead to an interesting shift in the industry. It is also easier than ever to educate and do it yourself these days, more than ever. These are all just shower thoughts I have on the subject. From what I have seen, even the best AI is pretty bad at architectural design and concepts. There are too many small random things and unique ideas, concepts, and knowledge architects have in order to be replaced. I am going to say it is industry safe from AI, at the moment anyway. Final thoughts. I believe this is the only profession I can be passionate about or care to even put effort into, as I think it is so important to our society. I plan on making more videos on architecture, hand drawing architecture, maybe some software tutorials, but there are already a bunch of those. I will definitely be deep diving into architectural history and things like pattern theory, as well as logging my academic and professional progress. I am currently scheduled for spring semester at school. I had to take some time off and have just been doing it myself since. So if you like that type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be uploading more videos as I get closer to finishing my library model. I will leave you with some shots of how the window banks turned out at the end of this video. Have a blessed day, keep it snappy, keep it happy, keep your stick on the ice.